Hi, Matt Gillogly here, and I want to talk to you today about the biggest mistake I see medical practices make when they are selling their direct pay services. And I'm talking again specifically about practices that do regenerative medicine, stem cell, hormone replacement therapy, basically anything that they are asking the patient to pay versus submitting it to their insurance company. Now, the biggest mistake I see made consistently, and this was even made when we had our clinics, is that we get too medical. We want to impress the patient with all of our knowledge about medicine and how cool everything is, and we want to get really, really technical. And what we do is that we start thinking that because we're giving them all this medical information, that logic is going to take over and the prospect, is going to convert and buy. And the reality is that rarely happens. And the reason why is that you have to help people make an emotional decision. Now, I'm not talking about getting them into a state of emotion where they make irrational decisions. I am talking about making an emotional decision. Let me explain, let me give you an example. Let's talk about marriage, okay? Now, logically, it would tell you that marriage is a bad deal, okay? The statistics are this. Over 50% of first-time marriages, I believe the number is now pushing 55%, over 50% of first-time marriages end up in divorce. Now, if you're the guy, that means that you're going to move out of the house, you got to go crash at a buddy's couch, or you got to go live in a garage apartment somewhere, and then you got to rent a place, and you got to buy new furniture, and the joke is that whoever is the breadwinner is going to wind up with all the debt and none of the assets, right? That's kind of the joke, right? So logically, you know this going in. You also know that if you get married a second time or a third time, the failure rate is just as high. It's 50+% of the time you're going to get divorced, okay? And the other standard joke is that of the 50% of the people that are still married, over half of those are completely miserable and would want to get divorced, but they can't afford it anyway, okay? So logically, it tells us marriage is not a really wise thing. It's not a real smart business decision, okay? Logic would tell you you're better just to cohabitate. Now, I know some states you're going to have cohabitation laws. I'm not here to make a moral conversation, okay? But logically, it doesn't work. So why do people do it? Because of emotion. Even the smartest, most analytical, the NASA engineer, the smartest doctor, the smartest stock investor, the actuary, they all make a decision based on emotion because they think life is going to be better. They're going to have more sex. They're going to always be in love, and they're always going to get along. Emotion takes over. But logically, it makes no sense, okay? That's our patients. We spend too much time on logic about how cool the medicine is and how cool the procedure is, and we're going to use this kind of needle and ultrasound and whatever we tell them, right? But really what they want to know is they're going to be able to run after their grandkids again. That's what they want to know. You have to get them into an emotional state where they can see a better future for their lives than the one that they have now. If you can get your patient, your prospect, into that emotional state where they are seeing the betterment of the future of what they have because of regenerative medicine or stem cell or hormone therapy, whatever you are, then you have them. You've got to take them and you've got to future pace them, and you've got to get them to see and smell and experience in their mind what life is going to be like after they do the procedure with you, because it's going to be so much better. In the future, I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually do that in more detail and how some of the key words that you can use. But I want you to think about this. Take a look at what your presentations are. Is there too much logic, and how do you get some more emotion in it so that you can really get the patient seeing a better self and a better life? Thanks.